What's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. New video. So, this is a good one. This is another Chuck Calibasher video. And this one literally is called Steroids Are Great. So, no further ado, let's get right to the genius, the brains of the Sharmuta cartel.
Hey, what's up with it, guys? So
Right
I
here.
just want to talk to you today about my experience with steroids.
Let me back this up for a second. Has anyone gotten used to those eyes? They don't look right. Are they supposed to be blue? They just look like they're white. It's strange. I know I'm just, hey, I'm sorry. I've had to pause the video. This just doesn't look right. And why doesn't he have anything on with the Sharmuta or Wes Watson stuff? What is he branching out? Is there trouble in paradise?
With it, guys. So I just want to talk to you today about my experience with steroids. From when I was a kid, I was 98 pounds, super small, super little, right?
Here we go with this story again.
Right, went out for the football team and they said I was too small, and so they let me ride the bench the whole season. So after that season, I started reading the magazines, how Arnold got swole, how Lee Haney got buff, and I saw that you had to eat a lot of calories, and I never liked eating food, period. So
He didn't like eating food. What did you like eating? Water? You drink that. What did you like eating? Air? What you didn't like eating food? What were you eating?
saw that you had to eat a lot of calories, and I never liked eating food, period. So I started force feeding myself, and so I gained 40 pounds in 90 days. Came back this summer, double days in football, and became a superstar just overnight. I did.
Okay, let's go back. Am I the only one?
Magazines, how Arnold got swole, how Lee Haney got buff, and I saw that you had to eat a lot of calories, and I never liked eating food, period. So I started force feeding myself, and so I gained 40 pounds in 90 days.
In 90 days. Okay, so he gained 40 pounds in 90 days, allegedly. 90 days.
Came back this summer, double days in football, and became a superstar just overnight. I did.
You mean 90 nights? How is it overnight? It was 90 nights, fool. Minimum. This guy, math is not his thing.
Didn't play pop water. I played a little basketball in junior high, but I didn't like it. And so my first true year of playing football was my 10th grade year, sophomore year. And I got the MVP, getting recruited by a lot of colleges around the whole country. And, I just turned myself into a beast. I was born beast, but...
He was born beast. Not a beast. He was born beast, right? Such a beast that he couldn't even play a single down and was not good at any sports. But then overnight, after 90 nights, he's a fucking star, man. This guy's amazing.
I had to learn how to play the politics, shall you say. And
shall you say?
Like an animal. So at that point, my friends around the neighborhood started calling me Ben Johnson. For those who don't know who Ben Johnson was, he was swole, buff, and he beat Carl Lewis in a 100-yard dash at the Olympics. Carl Lewis cried and said he was on steroids. And so that was my first inclination or ever hearing about steroids. And then from there, it progressed into baseball, Canseco, and McGuire, and
Why are there so many edits? They need to we need the blooper reel. Like the shit that you cut out, Cali Chuck, make a whole nother video with the stuff you cut out. That stuff has to, because if this is the good stuff, think about it, guys. If this is the good stuff, what is he cutting out?
and all those guys, you know. And so, boom, I go to college. I was on the team, on the football team, Fresno State football team, but I did have to prop 38, as they called it. My SAT scored sucked, even though I graduated with 3.83 overall GPA.
So he had a B plus average, right? But his SAT, who's doing your homework for you, dummy? That's pretty obvious, right? Like, how do you have almost a fucking 4.0, but your SATs are just trash? This guy.
Academic and athletic scholarship. My SAT score sucked, so I had to prop 48. Prop 48. That means
so you had 38 and 48. So does that mean like 80? What is that? 38, 48 was 86? Something like that. My math's not good right now either because I'm trying to do it on the fly. What is it? Steroids are great, though. That's what this video is about. Let's get to that.
means that you basically on the team, but you like a red shirt. You're able to practice and all that. And so for layman's term, I had to sit out my first year, my freshman year, and learn plays and the team and all that. So anyway, my fraternity brothers, I got wind that some of them was on steroids. And this was the first time I was involved.
Homie, how many? That's like 5 edits right there. Hold on.
Learn plays and the team and all that. So anyway, my fraternity brothers, I got wind that some of them was on steroids. And this was the first time I was involved with people that was on steroids. I was already strong. I was benching about 425 natural. I didn't know about nothing. I was green, right? So I remember my fraternity brothers, they would actually come work out with me. And so they was lifting the same thing I was lifting. And I'm like, they supposed to be on steroids? Or what I need steroids for, right? And so I was an advocate against it. I used to talk bad about steroids because I was lifting the same thing.
He was an advocate against it.
The guys that were on it. So boom, fast forward to prison. Once again, I was the biggest on the yard. All the California prison I went to, I was the swollest guy. Correctional officers used to ask me how to work out. I even remember the correctional officer, Idris Wardell, worked at San Quentin. And me and him was the same size, and he was on the streets doing steroids. He competed in pro bodybuilding shows. And so I had no...
Are you allowed to say that? Is that like, somebody let me know? I really don't care.
Desire. Only time I heard, and I said this in my documentary, only time I heard of somebody taking steroids was at Tehachapi. And Jack, young white dude, was getting D-ball, whatever. And, you know, I was bigger than him. I was more cut, ripped, stronger, way stronger.
Of course.
Stronger than him. I'm like, what the hell I need steroids for if I'm the biggest, you know? So I had no desire for it. So fast forward once again, I get out of prison 2001, I'm working out and get back in trouble. Go back to prison after about 11 months out after doing 7 years. And so I go back several times to prison. And so finally, I
can't deal with his eyes, eh? We need a petition that he needs to put sunglasses on when he does videos. It throws me off. I don't know about anybody else, but this is weird.
A little stint in 2007, I want to say. And I had a buddy of mine come up to me and he was like, man, if you get on a little juice, you'll kill him in bodybuilding shows. And I didn't even know what bodybuilding shows were. And he was doing them. You know, my mind started working, whatever. And
so when you were reading the magazines on Arnold Schwarzenegger and him bodybuilding and all this, there was no bodybuilding shows, like pictures of bodybuilding shows when you're reading about Arnold Schwarzenegger, the bodybuilder? I believe you.
By 2008, I went to a bodybuilding show, seen Jay Cutler, and I thought I was swole, and he made me look little. And so right then, I got sparked. And I went to my buddy, I was like, man, what I got to do to get bigger and compete? And he told me, and he showed me how to do everything as far as steroids. I never forget, my first cycle was Sustanon, and it hurted, man. I was like, what did I do? I didn't like it, right? I mean, I was swolled up and, oh, man. So anyway, so that started in like 2 weeks. My strength went up like 20 pounds.
Steroids are not great. Okay, I'm just reading that, so I don't want to get in no trouble. Do so does anybody in the like Wes Watson and the Strength Cartel, do any of them like really pay attention when they? No, they don't. What am I asking? They just I'm gonna call it this, and then they just like, at least he's on the topic. Wes Watson will do a topic, cell etiquette, and will not talk about the cell. He gave me burpees. Excuse me, hiccups.
Pounds on a bench, just my strength went up first. That was the first thing I noticed. And so I liked it. I liked the progress. I liked the strength that was coming. Then the size started coming in. Just everybody started taking notice. So after I seen Jay Cutler, he made me look small. 9 months later, I did the Orange County Classic. In 2009, I won heavyweight, and I went on to do 5 additional shows. After the additional shows are dead. So I did 5 shows my first year in 2009. All of them I took first and won some overalls, and I took second.
Does he know what all means? Let's try that again.
Additional shows. 4 the additional shows are dead. So I did 5 shows my first year in 2009. All of them I took first.
And all of them he took first.
And won some overalls, and I took second at one of them. No, I took third at one of them.
In all of them, he took first. And then now he's down to third. Oh, man. This is fucking...
And that kind of broke my spirit a little bit, but I wanted to beat the guys that beat me. So I just kept on. I was hypersensitive to steroids back then, taking 500 milligrams per week of testosterone. When I was competing, I was scared of trend, so I kept it at under testosterone. I was taking 400 mgs a week of that. I was also doing Anadrol, D-ball, and this is my first year, 2009. Then
I don't know. I don't understand any of the shit he's talking about. But it sounds like a lot. It sounds like he was excessive. Does that stuff shrink your brain too? That could explain a lot.
Of course, to get ready for shows, I would take clenbuterol, T3 cytomel, take Winstrol.
Why does he say of course? I don't know what any of this shit is. I wouldn't know it. Oh, of course, yeah, of course, yeah. Fuck yeah, of course, eh? Serio.
Trend aid, all the stuff I was reading. I had books, and I was on the internet for hours a day because I didn't want to kill myself. So I studied at least 6-8 hours a day about nutrition and...
Right. He studied 6 to 8 hours a day. Man, I wish they had SATs for this shit too. Fool.
Mostly steroids. I had all the books, Llewellyn steroid books, you name it. I had them all, and I read them page for page. And so I did well. My first year, I won, like I say, 4 of the shows. Took third at 1. Went to USA, and I took 10th as a light heavyweight. I felt I had something that I was good at. So I kept progressing, kept studying.
Homie. Everywhere you went, you got first place, and then you got third. Now you're at 10th, and now you feel like it. And when you got third, it broke you. But now you're in 10th, and you're like, fuck, I'm good at this, man. There was only fucking 10 people in here, but I'm 10th. I'm not last, I'm 10th. What? I wonder if I'm going to be able to monetize this.
Studying. If I could turn back the hands of time, I would have got a coach. I would have got a Hani Ramba, George Farah. If I know what I know now, I would have invested some money in having one of them to really learn what I was doing. But Hani...
Fool, you're studying for 6 to 8 hours a day. What the fuck was Hani Harama or whatever? Who were they going to teach you? You know everything. I'm confused. These guys always confuse me. Like, I feel like I know where they're trying to go, and then they go somewhere else, and I'm like, fuck. And then he's got 972 edits per minute.
Ramba was, of course, my favorite.
I remember
George Farah. So my experience starting off was good. I became this monster, and I thought I was doing things right. I would take off 3-4 months out of a year, and when you look back at my old YouTube videos, you can see I always would get smaller and bigger, and people would always comment, and that was cycling on, cycling off, and I thought I was doing everything right, and I still feel I was doing everything right, but what hurt me was eating bad food all my teenage years.
Yeah, I can't do anymore. So he's putting all this junk in his body, right? Let's follow this. He's putting all this junk into his body to change his body in ways that he's not supposed to be built. But it was some fast food that really, it was like, that did it. That right there was a straw that broke the camel's back. And he's saying this like with a straight face. There's got to be tests, right? This, like they say it shrinks your testicles. It's gotta shrink whatever he's got inside his cranium. It shrunk that up. It might be empty in there. Can we check that MRI one time for your mind? That's my video for today, though. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed it. Everybody, please be safe, be smart, and tell the ones you love that you love them, man. I'm out of here.